Zoo workers refuse to help drowning chimp, so man visiting jumps in to save him.
Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click that like button to help spread the word about watchJojo, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos.
We all know that an animal's life is as precious as those of human beings. This is why we do our best to save stray animals on the road from hunger and abuse, or even the injured ones that we find at the side of the streets. It was a typical day at the Detroit Zoo when something happened so unexpected that even the onlookers were not expecting to see. The people were watching while two chimpanzees were playing and chasing each other inside the enclosure. Rick Swope was one of the onlookers, and he was standing right in front of the enclosure when something tragic happened. He decided to help instead of just watching this tragedy unfold in front of his eyes. While the chimps were chasing each other around the trees, one of them slipped and plunged into the moat that's surrounding the exhibit. Everyone can see the poor animal was struggling to stay afloat. The zoo staff sees this but refused to rescue the scared animal. Rick said, "It was the most pitiful thing I ever saw." The chimp had his hands up and his head was sticking out of the water. He was looking at the crowd. It was like he wanted someone to rescue him. Rick instantly noticed that nobody wanted to help, even the zookeepers. So he took things into his own hands. He started to climb the wall enclosure and, without a second thought, dove into the moat. Because of the murky water, it was too impossible to see through it. Still, he tried to swim around the bottom and looked up at the crowd above him for direction. After a few moments, he finally found the drowning chimp. During his interview with the Chicago Tribune, Rick explained that the onlookers were showing him which direction the chimp was drowning in. He was lifeless, but it was clear he was still alive. He also shared that he thinks that the monkey knew what was going on, that he was trying to save him from drowning. The monkey never made any attempt to do anything to Rick. "I was thinking, what do you do now? Do you do mouth-to-mouth on a monkey? I remember thinking he might bite me if I did that. Then I looked up and saw there was another one coming down the hill with his teeth bared. I didn't know if he was going after the other monkey or after me, but I got the hell out of there." As soon as Rick left the enclosure, he was immediately surrounded by people while cheering him and patting him on the back for the heroic act that he did. But for Rick, he didn't do it to gain attention. All he wanted was to save the poor animal. He can't just stand there watching while the chimp was going to die at any moment. Rick could have easily chickened out that time, knowing that chimps can be very dangerous. But instead of thinking about himself, he chose to save another life. Nobody knew what to expect the moment Rick climbed up from that enclosure. But sure, everyone was glad, not only because he was able to save the animal, but also since he came out of that enclosure safe.